Welcome to episode 62 of Motivating Mondays, a weekly podcast and YouTube series dedicated to help Canadian job developers and other employer engagement professionals develop the tools, resources, expertise, and network to excel at achieving sustainable employment outcomes for their clients or students. My name is Christian St. Cyr, National Director of the Canadian Job Development Network, and today we're going to explore the world of doomjobbing, where job seekers are just hopelessly scrolling through one job after another and preferring quantity over quality in their job search. Is this the best pathway forward for employers that are increasingly using applicant tracking software? Or is this a compulsive action resulting from job seekers feeling helpless in the job search process? Spoiler alert, it's both. When the term doomjobbing started crossing my news feeds in the last few months, my immediate reaction was, well, this can't be good. I didn't immediately know what it was, but it couldn't have a more ominous name than if it were career catastrophe or application apocalypse. It turns out the term was coined just this past March when Ilya Bagrak, a product manager based in Los Gatos, California, first shared the term in a Threads post explaining that his 8-year-old daughter had come up with the name after watching him endlessly scroll through online job postings on LinkedIn. The term quickly went viral, being adopted by career experts and publications to describe the act of endlessly and passively scrolling through job boards without much intention. And while this might seem like the latest trending term in the career development sector, up there with, the Great Resignation or job hugging, it's actually something far more concerning that strikes at the very heart of our poor economy and a universal truth about job seekers. The term doomjobbing is carried forward from doom scrolling on social media, a habit which can be a way of engaging with a problem that feels outside of our control. Getting hired, by its very nature, feels outside of our control, and so there is a natural tendency to try to apply for as many jobs as possible. Unfortunately, the very nature of slow to hire, slow to fire economy is that employers are increasingly getting higher numbers of applications. Mismatched and unqualified applications just start building up, but never reach the top of the pile in terms of who the employer will ultimately interview. I have always felt that mass applications are like the lottery of job search. Now, if I get a ticket for a Lotto 649 draw, my odds are about 1 in 14 million. But if I have 2 tickets, suddenly my odds are way better. They're 1 in 7 million. And if I have 10 tickets, well, then my odds are just 1 in 1.4 million. And if I have 100 tickets, well, now my odds have gone down to 1 in 140,000. Unfortunately, aside from the fact that 140,000 to 1 are still pretty bad odds, this approach doesn't apply to job search for a number of reasons. First of all, you can't, or really shouldn't, apply for more than one time for the same job. Second, unlike a lottery ticket, which gives you an equal, albeit microscopic, chance of winning, not all job applications are created equal. Employers will screen applications for the best education, experience, and skills to determine who to interview, so simply submitting more applications doesn't change that equation. Unfortunately, this volume of applications is prompting people to apply for jobs without a clear understanding of what the employer is looking for. According to a recent survey conducted by Monster, 48% of candidates admit that they apply for a job without reading the entire job description. 32% spend less than 1 minute in reviewing an application before they apply. In fact, 16% of job seekers spend less than 30 seconds reading a job posting. 16% spend between 30 seconds and 1 minute. 26% spend between 1 and 3 minutes. 20% spend between 3 and 5 minutes. And 22% spend more than 5 minutes. Dmitry Bolyan, who is the CEO of the recruitment platform Adventure, says there's an escalating technical arms race between applicants and hiring systems. Job seekers are using AI to create multiple polished resumes and cover letters, while employers are implementing automation to screen candidates. It leads some to wonder why they should be applying at all. And if there is, in fact, an arms race between technology that job seekers are using to apply and technology that employers are using to block and screen candidates or reject them outright, we now have an atomic bomb in the form of AI apply. Now, if you haven't heard of it, AI Apply is an automated job search platform designed to automate and streamline the hiring process. It features an auto-apply bot, custom resume and cover letter generation, and interview coaching to help job seekers manually bypass job hunting. And it can apply for thousands of jobs on your behalf. Now, it's not the only tool that's out there. Others include Loop CV, Lazy Apply, Job Copilot, Sonara, and AutoJob. Now, can you imagine sitting in an interview with an employer and having them say, I see your resume was forwarded to us by Lazy Apply. So much for having a job search that demonstrates the skills and abilities an employer might like to see in their job candidate. We call it an AI recruiting doom loop, explains Lily Fogel, who's a director at the Interview Institute for Professional Association of Resume Writers and Job Coaches. She says the process creates a counterproductive loop in which, 1, job candidates use AI to enhance their resume and tailor it to the job application. 2, companies are flooded with a sea of sameness. All the resumes look qualified, and it becomes difficult to identify the truly qualified candidates. Number 3, companies apply more tighter AI filtering, make it harder for candidates to get an interview. And then 4, to get an edge, candidates apply for even more jobs, often using AI to do it at scale, flooding companies with yet more unqualified applications to filter through. So if this is a war, the sad thing about a nuclear solution is that having apps inundate employers with thousands of applications is that eventually, like the computer in the 1984 movie War Games discovers, the best way to win this war is to not play at all. Employers will eventually get tired of the endless slog of applications and seek out better ways to only sort through applicants with the best skills, experience, and qualifications. This will further tapping the hidden job market and using recruitment companies to find candidates. Job seekers, particularly those with multiple barriers to employment, need less competition, not more. Unfortunately, they are doom jobbing out of a sense of hopelessness and not because it's a good strategy. Like so many fruitless behaviors in job search, the best thing we can do in our career development roles is to call it out. When an exasperated client says to us, I've applied for 100 jobs and not heard anything, our best response to that is a kind and supportive way to say, well, that clearly is not working for you. So we need to look at a more personalized solution because we want to find something that's going to work for you. Our job coaching around job search shouldn't be organized around giving them a more comprehensive list of job search engines or instruction on how to use AI to max out their job search, but instead to have them take them back to the fundamentals. If you said to your clients, if you could only apply for 10 jobs with 10 employers, how would you do your job search differently? How would you approach the job posting? How much more time or effort would you put into your resume or your cover letter? How much more likely would you be to follow up after applying? What little things could you do that could improve your chances of getting the job? Job seekers are fast and loose with job applications because job postings out there are limitless. While we're never limited to just 10 jobs or 10 employers, job seekers need to adopt an attitude of scarcity. We need to put everything we can into each application. What you want to do is encourage your clients to create a list of their 15 to 30 preferred employers. Find out who the decision makers are, where they post their jobs, follow them on social media, and try to find in-person opportunities to connect with them. There are 4 points clients or students might want to adopt in undertaking this approach. Point number 1, identify a niche. While they may be looking for job seekers might be looking for a couple of different types of jobs, specificity in cover letters, resumes, interview responses, and even in the type of role can be extremely helpful. This might be, for instance, how a graphic designer role would look different with a marketing company versus a graphic design role within a nonprofit society. Target specific companies. A job is not a job and a company is not a company. The best way to develop a curated list of companies for your clients or students would be to read about them in the news, on their websites, on social media. Identify companies that are most in alignment with your clients' goals, values, and personality. Number 3, customize every application. Not only is it essential for our clients and students to completely read every job posting to ensure that the cover letter addresses the major points in the job postings, it's not to say that the applicant needs to meet every point, but at the very least, their cover letter should address ways of learning and acquiring the missing pieces. And finally, number 4, tap into the hidden job market. Job fairs, networking events, informational interviews, mentorship programs are all excellent ways of networking and developing the hidden job market for the individual. Cold calling employers in person and connecting on social media are also valuable pathways. Job seekers should ensure that they are doing a certain portion of networking or accessing the hidden job market for every posted job that they are applying to. While the term doomjobbing may not be new, this compulsive pattern of putting as many irons in the fire as possible is not, clearly illustrated by the relevance of me using a blacksmith analogy. In my recent labor market conference, I was interviewed by an old friend and mentor, Tina Strelka, CEO of Minerva, and she noted that everyone longs to be part of a team, but also wants to be seen as special. Applying for hundreds of jobs without a response is not only subjectively tells people that they are not special, but that they don't have a team. In working with your clients, reinforce that you and they are a team, working towards a common goal. They are each special, and their words and actions and interactions should convey the special contribution that they can make to each employer. This sort of mentorship with your own clients cultivates a culture of excellence and will be far more effective in achieving the very best employment outcomes for your clients or students. As you know, we have actually launched registration for developing a comprehensive approach to job development taking place in September. We have 5 sessions for 5 separate time zones: Pacific on the 21st, Mountain on the 22nd, Central on the 23rd, Eastern on the 24th, and Atlantic on the 25th. All the sessions go from 9 to 3 local time. Up until July 16th, 2026, everyone who registers is going to benefit from a 35% discount on registration. If you'd like more information, just go to jobdevelopment.org/pro-D. If you have any questions, send me an email directly. My email address is cstcyr@labormarketsolutions.ca. Now, thank you so much for joining us. These sessions are available on YouTube and most podcast platforms. Just search for Motivating Mondays wherever you download podcasts and subscribe, like, or share. It really does help others in Canada's career development sector find out about these podcasts. We do these sessions live and for free every Monday morning on Microsoft Teams with job developers from all across the country, and it'd be so great if you could join us. Just go to jobdevelopment.org to learn more. And if you have any questions, send me an email. My email address is cstcyr@labormarketsolutions.ca. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have an amazing week.